weekly morning show where we talk about the latest topics in entertainment. I'm Brittany Jones-Cooper.
I'm Shannon Coffey.
I'm Allie Colbert.
And I'm Lucas Tim.
Woo,
Hi, everyone.
Oh yeah, packed house, feels so good. Are you guys really excited for World Emoji Day?
Yes.
Today.
It is
I
today.
didn't even know it was today.
What a wonderful holiday.
I love how every day is a day.
How can we celebrate?
I think only
Using
speaking in emojis.
Okay.
Oh, I know people that do that.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's kind of annoying.
Oh, really? I love it. That's probably my personality.
Oh, gosh.
I think the cool part about it being World Emoji Day is that recently we found out that we're gonna get some new emojis that are a little more representative of who we are. And one of it, we're gonna get a redhead emoji.
Yeah. Isn't that exciting?
Finally.
Excited about this?
Gingers are
Like,
represented.
really
Yeah,
excited.
come
Yes.
on. I
They
was
have
dyeing
souls
my
and
hair.
now they have emojis.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
I was dyeing my hair red for like 3 years straight, and I never had emojis, and I'd just be like, you know, I felt really inauthentic.
Yeah.
So now I might start dyeing my hair again.
I'm not gonna dye my hair red, but I support people who do.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so
absolutely.
much. That means
Absolutely.
a lot. I still don't think we have an iced coffee emoji though, and I think that's very upsetting because I don't drink hot coffee.
Oh.
It's a rule.
So we need that. Because what else? We're getting like a superhero emoji. We're getting bald people, kangaroos, because we're missing those, I guess. Mangoes, lettuce, cupcakes. We didn't have cupcakes?
Yeah, isn't that weird?
That's
It's weird that you need a mango.
Yeah.
I just feel like you can't really like tell the difference between like a mango, orange, apple, all in emoji form. Like it might be kind of hard. You could.
I can,
What-
yeah.
what
I can tell the
sexual meme
difference
does that-
between an avocado and a mango.
Yeah, I know you can, but like if it's just like a yellow ball, like.
What does that sexual does that mean? Like I want to know what the
Whoa.
mango means.
How do we get to sexual stuff?
Because
What
that's what
the hell
emojis
is
are
wrong
for.
with you?
Yeah, wait.
Y'all thinking it.
No one was thinking that.
I'll back you
Just
up.
although-
I'll back you up. I
although-
think the mango we all know means like, you know?
See?
I've never been able to look at an eggplant the same after emojis came out, so I'm actually with you on that
See?
one.
Yeah.
But moving on, anyway, to our first story of the day, which I'm sure a lot of you will care about, because I do. Attention, Bachelor Nation fans. In last night's episode of The Bachelorette, Becca Kufrin visited the hometowns of the 4 remaining contestants. She met their families and got one step closer to the final rose.
So who watches? Clap.
Yeah.
I love when people hold their hands up.
You know, hometown dates are a really big week because it's like the first time that these guys, I think, have to face reality and be like, oh shit, I gotta introduce this girl I just met to my family. Like, how's this gonna play out? I will say that last night went really well. I mean, Becca's the most normal bachelorette ever, so nothing crazy happened. I think we just sort of, you could kind of tell who she was leaning towards a little bit, though.
Becca is so normal. That's probably the reason why I'm not watching this season.
Yeah.
Like, she's just so, the show's kind of boring this season, I feel. Like, I don't know, and the fact that the episodes have been so long, I know that's like a recent thing that they've done in the last like handful of seasons where like every episode is like 3 hours.
It's too long.
It's painful.
It's a lot.
But I usually like love it and always watch, but fill us in on like what happened.
Yeah, well, I think the guy she sent home is Colton, and I don't know if you guys know. Oh, what, God, I'm sorry. Well, I just, they closed their
spoiler
ears.
alert, spoiler alert. Okay, it's not Game of Thrones. Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, she sent Colton home, and there were like various reasons. One was he's a virgin, and I think that was gonna be
She's
difficult.
like, I'm gonna go to a pop culture news show.
Yeah.
Everything they say.
And another one is that a former Bachelor contestant, Tia, which is a friend, had romantic feelings for Colton and
Right.
sort of took Becca aside and was like, you know what? I know you're seeing him, but I actually I met him previously, and I really like him.
I watched the first 2 episodes of this season, then I couldn't do it. But so Colton was a former NFL player, helps children in some sort
Great guy.
of charity, great guy. And we find out he's a virgin,
Yeah.
and then he gets kicked off the show.
I know.
Whoa. That's a rough day for that guy.
This is
That's
the
a ru-
thing with, sorry, yeah, it is rough for him. Did I?
No.
Okay. With Tia, like, he revealed that he had been on a date with her at the start of the show, and she had, like, checked in with her whether or not that was fine. She said, go for it. And now she's coming out of the woodwork to say she still has feelings. Like, you still have feelings because you're tuning in every Monday. Like, just shut the TV. Like, it's hard to, like, I understand when someone's in the press a lot, I feel like you then project. Like,
So Tia sabotaged him?
Maybe. I was gonna ask, do you think that maybe they brought in that Tia storyline so that it didn't just look like she sent him home because he's still a virgin? Because
Look at
that's
you
tough.
producing, yeah.
I feel like it would be kind of sad to send someone home just because they haven't had sex yet.
Yeah.
I'm shocked by that, though. I really am shocked.
Although I would love to see an episode if he was still in the season of him getting deflowered live on TV and it being super special. Like, what do you do? Like, you know, I guess for girls, the stereotype is like rose petals on the bed. Would he like tiny footballs for him or something?
But the thing is so funny, if he made it, isn't the next episode of the fantasy suite would be great? Like he makes it there and she comes out, it lasted 3 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like,
What's funny though is you know he's gonna end up on Bachelor in Paradise anyway, and that all this might happen on Bachelor in Paradise with Tia. I bet she's gonna be there. It's gonna be awkward. It's gonna be weird. But speaking of the taking home, have you guys like had any crazy stories taking somebody home to meet your parents for the first time?
I'm really good at meeting other people's parents for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like my family is like weird, but if you know me, you know what to expect. Like they're just like wild, so it's kind of like you're on for the ride.
Yeah.
So, but you feel like you leave a good impression with parents?
Yeah, parents really love me.
Parents
so
like
if you
you.
guys want to take me home, just to intro me, we don't have to be dating. I'll just meet all your parents.
That's intimidating. Like, it's intimidating to meet parents for the first time. I can't imagine doing it on television. Like, especially if the relationship is authentic. I mean, I don't know how real these relationships are. So I could see if you're going home and you're playing the part, like that might be easy to fall into. But like if you're really meeting someone's parents and you really care and it's all being televised, that's terrifying.
And a lot of the parents last night too were like asking hard questions, which I loved. They're like, is this real? Do you love him? Like, this is my son. If you don't like him, let him go. Like, they were very kind of blunt with her, which I liked, which was real. But in other Bachelor-related news, the scripted show Unreal dropped a surprise 4th and final season yesterday, yay. But this time, the show can be found on Hulu instead of Lifetime. Unreal goes behind the scenes and explores the making of a fictional dating show similar to The Bachelorette. While fans are upset that the series is ending, the surprise 4th season definitely has everyone excited. I love this show, mainly because one of the producers from the Bachelor and Bachelorette series went and started this. And so it does kind of show like you were kind of producing how they form these stories and how it really shakes down and how they get people kind of drunk so they act stupid. So I am happy to see the final season of this. Like, I think they needed to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this show so much. I think it's super exciting because, like, you know, obviously it was kind of like secretly canceled by Lifetime, and you're like, are we not gonna get a new season? And then it's even better of a surprise because we get it 3 months after the last season, which is great because I hate waiting a year for shows.
Exactly.
Oh, the wait is so hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes you wait so long that by the time the next season comes out, you're already like falling out of it. That's kind of like what happened with me in Westworld in a way. Like I just like waited so long. Walking Dead, that happened to me.
Right.
Game of Thrones, it's gonna be.
Well, I think with Westworld, it just takes so long to film these shows, and now, especially HBO and these grand shows, they don't want to rush the filming of it because they felt like they rushed True Detective. But what's cool about this story, and I don't watch Unreal, but is that Hulu stepping in to save a show and really save a show for the fans, which is I think is pretty amazing, and also kind of shows where TV is going with these streaming services. They have the money and the ability to pick up a show and just release it like that. So I think it's pretty cool.
They did that with the Mindy Project. I remember that was on Fox. I loved it. Then they canceled it, and I was like, I'm not done. And Hulu picked it up and just let it finish with like some breath and let you kind of enjoy the process. So again, it's like the major networks are missing out on these things that the streaming services really nail.
Yeah, but what's amazing, this show was on Lifetime for 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Because Lifetime, what are they, Dance Moms? Like that's what I watched on Lifetime, which was good in the beginning. Who wants to watch a middle-aged woman yell at 8-year-olds? But yes, it took a very dark turn.
Well, they have great films also. All those Lifetime movies where it's like, every woman is gonna die.
Right.
And you're like, oh no.
Or the movie like when Whitney Houston, when they have none of the rights to her music. So it's like,
you're like, okay.
cool.
That was the worst and the best.
Right. But yeah.
I'm surprised I haven't, back to Unreal, I'm surprised I haven't seen it because I'm so interested in like the underbelly of these reality shows. Like I love the idea of like, I saw a taping of Maury one time and like I saw the stage manager when like the woman was crying on stage that like the dad wasn't her baby's daddy or whatever. And he was like, rip up the paper, like coaching her through all of it. And like, it's just so cool to see like what goes on behind. I'm sure so much of it is coached, so I'm excited to watch it.
And they get them pretty liquored up.
Yeah. No, they facilitate
and they sleep
that.
deprive them. Like they keep them up all night.
Oh,
so
yeah.
people are gonna act crazy.
Yeah. And they isolate them before they even meet the person they're on the show for. So by the time, that's why when they come out of the cars, they're all like, hey, I'm so excited to meet you. It's because they literally have not not seen another human in
Right.
so long. And they're like, I'll love anyone.
Been locked in a cage for like a whole day or whatever.
Totally, yeah.
That's why I just don't love those types of shows. It's like it feels more scripted than like the traditional like docu-series show on Bravo or E! 'Cause it just seems like it's so contrived.
That's exactly why I love it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, more TV news. There's a new queen in town. Netflix has released new pics of Olivia Colman as Queen Elizabeth for the upcoming 3rd season of The Crown. Colman is replacing Golden Globe winner Claire Foy, who's played the pivotal role for the first 2 seasons. In a statement, Colman says, "I'm so thrilled to be a part of The Crown. I was utterly gripped watching it. A proper, just one more feeling. I think Claire Foy is an absolute genius. She's an incredibly hard act to follow. I'm basically going to rewatch every episode and copy her."
Oh my God.
I did not read that in British accent though. It's like so like thrilled.
You nailed it.
I
nailed
did not, yeah.
It's amazing how this audience is dead quiet. This is truly like the biggest audience, but I have to say, you guys, the worst. We're so lucky to have you here. I haven't watched, this is literally how it feels every night when I do stand up, and it's just a room full of people and it's just a bomb. I love shows that have to do with like royalty and the royal family. I have not seen The Crown. I literally can't believe I haven't seen
God.
it. Everyone tells me to watch it. I just have so many shows.
I know.
I know, it's a lot of
Like,
work.
I have a lot on my plate right now.
It's so hard.
You know? Like, I don't know, but people seem to be like really obsessed with Claire Foy.
I was obsessed. You were obsessed, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it is an unbelievable cinematic show with a budget of like $100 million. It's written by Peter Morgan, who has a long history of writing these types of programs, and it just, you know, it's interesting, like, you know, when The Tudors, and that's on Showtime.
Oh my God, The Tudors.
Henry
That
VIII,
was like porn.
but it's really
Stop porn.
sexy, and like there's violence and poisoning. Like, no one like, was like getting beheaded in the Queen Elizabeth II's reign or whatever, but they make it the gripping like family drama and the stuff she has to deal with and like the little power she has but is able to exert and like try to like, you know, as a 25-year-old becoming queen and like learning about how to be a monarch in a modern age. It's really fascinating. And I think we always knew that Claire Foy was going to be replaced. And, you know, we were talking about this, you know, I think when you came to the show really for the story and the writing, but it really, recently, she's just taken over. Claire Foy is such a force to be reckoned with, and I think I will miss her for sure.
She is why I kept watching. She is why I came back for season 2. She has this like quiet elegance. Her eyes are so expressive. It's like there's very little dialogue sometimes. It's really in how these like exchanges happen.
Oh my God, you just stare into her eyes.
I just stared at Claire Foy's eyes and I'm like, hey girl.
When she says like, "Ooh, lovely," like
yeah,
this is like
it's just
really
so
condescending.
subtle, but I think that subtlety is what the real queen probably has to do a lot. A lot of it is in her gestures. Everybody reacts to how she, you know, like everything is so subtle, and I think they captured that. I'm sad to see her go. Like they're gonna have to really, this casting I hope is on point.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna lose me if it's not like on point.
That's a threat.
Yeah. That's a threat. And
That's a threat. Isn't it so hard, like a lot of the shows that we watch now, like you get so attached to the characters, and I feel like shows are so used to just like tearing them away from us.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's so hard to deal with.
I know, it's sad, but like I said, it was intended to, and they have Helena Bonham Carter is going to play her sister, and the woman who played her sister in the first season was fantastic.
Vanessa Kirby.
Vanessa Kirby.
My favorite moment of season 2.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God.
Amazing.
Margaret falling apart in her bedroom. Oh my. That was me. Like, yeah. Sorry.
I love that you identify with the royal
for a second.
family. It's so great. Yeah. No, she's going to be incredible. So I know they're stepping up and trying to pick people that can like, you know, take the reins and take the show, because it is such a I swear, if you haven't watched it, it's not as boring as you think it is. It's really interesting. Like, there's an episode when the Kennedys visit, and you learn so much about JFK and Jackie, like how fucked up they were, and how just the Queen.
They're big fans of the show.
Sorry, sorry, the Kennedys. I don't want to insult the Kennedys, but it's just a really incredible episode where Jackie and the Queen have this moment, and you just see these two women in very different positions, you know, similar but different positions, and I don't know, it's fascinating.
And how it ties to historical events. Like, so I think they're picking up in 1964 and going through the 70s. Yeah. Obviously, we know in the US and around the world, there were all these assassinations and wars and all of this stuff popping off. And I love how they show how she dealt with it. It kind of gives us like new view to history that I really appreciate. I think it's why I love it so much.
JFK's assassination was interesting through her eyes too, especially because when Jackie keeps the dress on or whatever, and the Queen knows, like they had a conversation before about image and role of the First Lady. So it's really, really fascinating.
I need to watch now.
Yeah, me and you just love the show.
Yeah.
From a queen to a countess, there's some real drama brewing for Real Housewives of New York star LUANN. The former countess is reportedly being sued by her ex-husband and their kids over money. Lesseps is accused of ignoring a stipulation in her divorce settlement, which required she set up a trust fund for her kids. Ooh. Oh my God, let's dig into this.
Ooh.
Let's dig in.
Intense. Ooh. Getting sued by your entire family? That's like my ultimate nightmare.
So basically, LUANN, she went through a divorce with her ex-husband, the Count, not Tom.
Yeah.
And in the divorce said she was gonna sell their house in the Hamptons, take that money and set up a trust fund. Instead, she purchased a Sag Harbor home. Yeah. And her kids now are like, what the hell? And they're suing her. I mean, I know LUANN's a little like cuckoo on the show, but like this is like a big.
Well, I think what's so interesting if you've watched for 10 seasons like I have, Countess LUANN de Lesseps's fall from grace has been quite interesting. Because she came on the show as like the classy socialite, like
what a fall!
But like her book was literally called The Class of the Countess, and she would say it's a double entendre because she has to speak French whenever she can. And to watch her recently, kind of like. We had the whole don't be cool, don't be all uncool thing when she was partying. We started like the divorce happened, and then this season 10, and January she got arrested for disorderly conduct. She told the police officer, "I'm going to kill you," and kicked him and got out of her handcuffs.
She busted out of those handcuffs.
We literally saw
David
she slipped out. It's unbelievable. If you guys haven't watched this season of New York Housewives, just watch that episode where they get the footage and you see her in the car being like, "I'm gonna get out of these handcuffs." I'm like, "Don't run away, don't run away." Just LUANN running away. It's unbelievable. And like she went to rehab, and the whole back half of the season is going to be how she's like reforming herself and whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, we just found out is that she posted this Instagram picture reunion with her ex-husband, great reunion. A day later, he and their two kids are suing her, and then the day after that, she checks herself into rehab again.
Right. I want to give you guys a moment to talk about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I was just saying that picture that she took with her husband was in the Sag Harbor home that she bought with the money she stole from her kids, right?
So I think she's half of the money from the Bridgehampton was she sold for $8 million. Half it was supposed to go into a trust fund. Half she was able to do whatever she wanted. The thing is, she bought that Sag Harbor home, but she never set up the $4 million she had left over for the trust fund.
But maybe she's been meaning to for a really long time. Like, I have a long to-do list, and like I've been trying to set up an IRA account for myself, and it's been taking. It's like I'm 7 years behind. So maybe she really meant to. It's on her list, but she just hasn't gotten there yet.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah, did they talk about this? The family? I feel like their kids they took a happy pic, and they were like, guess what? You're sued.
Yeah.
And she's in a commercial with her daughter right now.
Yes.
With Dorinda and her daughter. So they look all happy and like, obviously she's getting checks. So why wouldn't she be like, hey mom, by the way, that cool million, can you like put
Very
that
odd, very strange, very surprising. The one thing that I really am surprised by is, when LUANN this past season, we saw her go into rehab, and I was expecting her to come back and not really be honest about what happened, kind of brush it off. But on the show, we saw a level of honesty from her that I wasn't expecting, because she tends to be like a very delusional character, which is what's so funny about her. But she was like, you know what? I made a mistake. It was good for me. I'm back. I'm trying. So then to hear this, it's disappointing, because I felt like we had a real...
Totally. I mean, and that's the thing too. With Carol Radswell this past week was like, I like this LUANN, the honest LUANN, the down-to-earth LUANN, and Bethany Frankel's reconnected with her and become friends with her. And it's frustrating that I think off the show, the drama is since the show's wrapped filming is she's clearly relapsed. And also, which is interesting because, she's been doing this cabaret show. And which is sold out, which we won't get to go to now, which I'm so upset about. Allie and I were gonna go to.
Yeah.
Which apparently she sings happy birthday every night, no matter what.
It's always somewhere.
She's like, whose birthday is it? It's your birthday, it's your birthday. And she'll sing it to you because it's part of her repertoire of music. But and now Bethany's speaking for her. They're taping the reunion tomorrow. She won't be at it.
LUANN.
Ramona.
I'm thinking of Ramona being like, you look good in that. You look like a man, LUANN. That's rude. No, you look like a man, LUANN.
I think Ramona probably had part of her drinking, for sure.
I think it was funny watching the show. I felt like she wasn't ready to leave rehab. She kept talking about how nice it was.
Yeah.
She made it sound like a relaxing, Coachella spa. Yeah. So I think it's good that she's going back. Cause I don't think she was really done with it the first time.
And also the first episode back, they all get in a huge fight where Sonya's like, what the fuck? They're my family! LUANN, they're like screaming in a restaurant. LUANN's just like, oh God, oh
Exactly.
God.
Yeah, I feel like
About
the
the
show would
Morgan.
definitely make you relapse, for sure.
For sure.
I cannot imagine having to stay sober on that show when
No.
everyone is pushing alcohol on you.
Yeah.
It's like these situations like
Right, and also what's coming up next week is they go to Colombia, which I don't know if you guys read about. They apparently get like stuck on a boat and had to get rescued. It's very traumatic, and I'm very excited to watch it.
Imagine being sober on that boat.
Imagine being sober on that boat. So we're gonna see it in a couple of upcoming weeks, but like, I'm so pumped, guys.
So much to watch.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to LUANN.
Yes, good luck. Now, in music news, singer and actress Mandy Moore has announced plans to make her music comeback. On Instagram, the This Is Us star posted a video of her in the studio. In the video, Moore can be heard singing one of her new songs. The post is also accompanied with the caption, "Getting back to it. It's time. I miss it. I'm not scared anymore. No more excuses. No more allowing someone else's insecurities to dictate my relationship to music and singing." Boom.
Boom.
Wow, Mandy Moore coming back. How do you feel?
it's so funny, that quote, I thought it'd be like, no more, I'm coming. She was like, no more this, no more that, no more eating sugar after 10. I was like, oh my God, it's a lot that you want to...
You can tell that she's been wanting to make music, but definitely was debating it and probably feeling a little freaked out. But
Yeah.
I'm excited. I love Mandy Moore.
I do. You know, so I'm like making this up in my head, but I feel like she was in that first marriage, and that's when we saw her move away from music a little bit. Bryan Adams, right?
Yeah,
And he's
right.
sort of like a music snob in a way. So I wonder
Oh
if
my
like he was
God.
ever critical of her.
Look at this.
Yeah, because the way she's talking is like people were like, right?
Yeah.
I'm like really looking at this stuff.
Yeah.
And then she met this new guy who she's always telling about how awesome he is and supportive. And I feel like she's probably feeling supported for the first time in a decade to actually do her music.
Oh my God, I had no...
So good for you, Mandy. Good
Yes,
for you.
do it.
Snap.
Follow your
Yeah.
heart.
Follow your dreams.
And I liked her songs. They made me feel good.
Yeah, Candy.
See, I don't know.
classic.
I don't remember her music. I just remember her in Princess Diaries. Stupid Cupid, snap
Oh my
hitting
God.
on me. Remember
That-
the beach
I
thing?
love that.
You remember it?
I remember
You guys
it.
remember
That
it,
was
yeah.
so hot. I was so
Yeah,
turned
she's
on
like
by
a
that.
mean girl. She's singing on the beach, and like Mia Thanopoulos Finaldi
It's so
is like
good.
really
There
upset.
are those weird moments that help you realize you're gay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was just like, why is this hot to me? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I would say that her acting has always been, for me, her stronger suit. Like, I've seen her evolve as an actor, but her music was also pretty good. Like, I'm excited to see what her new sound is.
Her
gonna be.
acting though is so
Yeah,
great.
This Is Us.
Oh,
This Is Us
is
is killing
amazing.
This Is Us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would have thought Mandy Moore would have a comeback? She's like the Puma of people.
Yeah. And I
you
love
from
seeing
the Puma
old Mandy.
shoes?
Yeah, I did not know those would come
That
back.
was really good. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
wow, good for you, Puma. Good for you, Mandy Moore.
Yeah.
This Is Us is killer though, especially because she's oftentimes playing like a mother in aged makeup, and she's still convincing.
Yeah, I love that saggy neck thing they got going for her when she looks old. Like, I already have it naturally, but like, she does the makeup. I should have just pretended we were doing old makeup on me.
I hear this exercise.
The turkey.
All right, I'll just do this on the show.
They have those like things where you like push your chin
Yeah,
now.
right.
Yeah.
Do we think she's gonna be able to be successful though, 10 years later? Because she really came up at a time where we had Britney and Jessica Simpson, and it was her, and it was Christina, and it's like all these girls, and they all kind of look the same, but now the landscape has changed so much. Like, is she gonna have like a Michael Bublé sound? Like, is she gonna completely reinvent herself?
Well, the clip in that Insta post was kind of like Lana Del Rey in my opinion.
I
It felt
thought
kind
the
of
exact
dreamy,
same
right?
thing.
Yeah, and I feel like there's only one Lana Del Rey out there, so she could kind of like take the more popular, like more mainstream version of that genre.
Yeah, she could do like Lana Del Rey songs without like the I want to kill myself vibe.
Yeah.
Although I love that vibe.
But bump, love you 50 people.
I think she should get up with DJ Khaled. I mean, he's
Oh my
he's
God.
a hit maker, and I know you love DJ Khaled.
Watch out.
He the best. Wouldn't it be weird though, like if Mandy Moore, like, I don't know, like I don't see people, like I see people listening to a song, I see that happening. I don't know that like I see her being like really well respected as a musician.
Well, like touring and stuff like that.
Right,
I
Yeah.
don't see her touring.
That's
Yeah.
not gonna happen. She won't tour.
I don't think that's her intent. It really just seems like she's just like making art, and
Yeah.
I don't think she's gonna be going for that Billboard Hot 100 hit.
I think
Don't
she's
think it's in her.
reconnecting with herself.
Yeah. So go
love
for
it.
it.
Well,
Mandy.
nothing wrong with that. Good news for fans of USA's Mr. Robot. The hacker drama will be turned into a comic series for the first time thanks to comic book publisher Black Mask. The comic saga will debut this fall and will be based around a prequel story by the show's creator, Sam Esmail.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah,
Mr. Robot.
I think this is really cool. I watched Mr. Robot. It's a really interesting show that that first season was groundbreaking for USA and completely changed
That's what I was gonna say.
the network. And it's just like, it's taking on tech. And as we all know, if you're reading the news, hacking's very relevant, Russia. This is cool. And I think it's cool for fans, like also like to build out the world, but to go to print, kind of, which is interesting. That maybe will inspire people who are obsessed with technology to go read something like in paper, which I think is kind of cool. So I'm all for it.
I do read comics and I like comics, but I do think it's hard when you're watching a show, like, because casting is so important, acting is so, a big part of it. I don't know if you remember that show, Pushing Daisies. It got canceled really early. It was such a great show. It was one of my favorites. That got turned into a comic book, and I was like, I'm gonna read it. And I never dipped in. I couldn't get into it because I really missed the cast. So even though I think it's a cool idea, I'm like, it's a little bit dangerous.
It is. It's risky because usually we see comic books go to movies or TV. Yeah. So this is like a weird flip. But I'm excited to see how it pans out because we've seen, I'm all for a good prequel. I'm excited for like the Game of Thrones. Spider-Man has done prequels. Yeah. Like, I think the idea is good, but I'm with you. I don't know if people want to watch and read, if that's going to translate.
Yeah, because it's a prequel though, like maybe then people would read it because it's not like really a part of what you're like the universe of the show. Like that's the only thing I could see people maybe being in if they're big fans. But if it was like, okay, there's been X amount of seasons and the next season's going to be a comic book, I would just say that's a bad idea.
Totally agree. The good thing is it's renewed for season 4, which is either premiering end of this year, early. Everything's premiering in 2019.
Yeah.
But yeah, so exactly, it's not covering ground the TV show's going to cover. It's like ground that wouldn't be covered. So it's like if you want to learn more, here you go.
For the Mr. Robot nerds.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't know how to read.
Which I think we all are. Mr. Robot nerds.
I love it. Well, keeping up with TV, Netflix has just dropped an 80s style teaser video for the upcoming 3rd season of Stranger Things. Let's take a look.
Earth, America, Indiana, Hawkins. A growing patriotic community and a shining example of the American dream. Today, Hawkins is taking another step into the future with the brand new Starcourt Mall. Families, friends, and of course, teenagers can come together to shop, hang out, dine, and enjoy. With retail options for every member of the family, including The Gap, Walden Books, and Sam Goody. Starcourt Mall has it all. And don't forget, a state-of-the-art food court is just an escalator ride away, featuring America's favorite place to cool down, Scoops Ahoy Ice Cream Shop.
Ahoy.
Ahoy.
Ahoy. Starcourt Mall is one of the finest shopping facilities in America and beyond. So come on down. And remember, Starcourt Mall has it all.
Starcourt is an all-American subsidiary of Starcourt Industries and International Enterprise.
Stranger Things received 12 Emmy Award nominations last week. The newest season of the show is speculated to debut next year. Guys, I'm so excited. I love that teaser because I love what Stranger Things, yes, it's about demigorgons and sci-fi, but like it's also an 80s show and capturing that 80s nostalgia of like the time period I sadly did not grow up and I think I would have thrived there. But that teaser is just like, it's all the cheesiness, just the music, the malls, everything. I love that.
Yeah, I feel like I grew up going to the mall, but I feel like I missed out. Like that mall looks awesome.
Yeah.
That mall is a lot like the malls I grew up with.
Really?
Yeah, just like weird Sam Goody, like Burger King.
That's so cool.
But did everybody look so happy in your malls?
Yeah.
No, actually, you're right.
Yeah.
They were wearing
so
less
happy.
neon, right?
The outfits were different.
And they used to do like concerts in malls, like Tiffany would be like, I think
Yes.
like they used to do things in malls, and now we don't have that, and I feel a little slighted. I'm just saying.
Oh, Amazon.
I used to love the food court in malls.
Yeah.
Like the Chinese food in the mall food court. It was just so bad and good at the same time.
I love flirting in the food court.
You would? With
Yeah,
who?
but
The
like-
other mall people?
Like, yeah, just rando strangers being like, yeah, I got fries. And you're like, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? But as a 13-year-old, I thought fries were so sexy.
Oh, I was not allowed to talk to anyone else. No.
Oh, really?
Well,
They
okay, maybe in the show, demigorgons are gonna destroy them all. I don't know, you can guess, like.
How dare they?
I know, well interesting, because if you watch season 2, it ends in, spoiler alert?
Close your
okay.
ears.
Close your
So like
ears,
11
you
closes
know
the
you.
gate, Will is freed from the mind controller, and then at the end you see the upside. They're dancing in the school dance, the upside down, the mind controller monsters hovering over the school. So you have no idea how the upside down is going to break back into the real world. But I'm interested. The show's so smart and cool, and
but season 1 kicked season 2's ass.
well, season 1 was so spectacular. Season 2, I was just happy that it was solid and it was good because it easily could have bombed and it didn't, because it's just so hard for shows that's a strong season 1 to come back strong season 2, and it did. Was it as good? No, nothing can be as good as that.
I really love season 2.
Nothing can ever be as good as.
I didn't mind it. I didn't mind that 11 episode, where she goes off on her own. I know people hated that one so much.
Oh, the X-Men Chicago episode?
Yeah, they hated it so much, and I'm like, you know what? That smoky eye was worth it.
It was like a spin-off show. I was like, oh, wait, is this gonna become like?
It was weird. I'm like someone who's like, you could imagine me being uncomfortable with that because I'm like so structured and anal.
Totally. I imagine you yelling and throwing things at the TV. So I'm glad we didn't watch it together because I would have been like, I just want to have fun.
Yeah, and for me, nothing's fun. So it was hard for me to stick with it.
Yeah, I bet.
I think what was one of the scariest moments of the show was the Will possession scene when he is. That was like, when did Stranger Things become a demonic possession show? And he's like oh god,
it's so creepy. I love it so much.
Sweating and they're heating him up and they're trying to get it out.
Brittany is too scared to watch Stranger Things.
Yeah, she
is. This is a conversation we've had. She's too afraid.
Thank you.
No.
I'm just saying. I haven't watched it. I feel like I'm missing out on something in the zeitgeist, but it just looks scary, and I can't.
But it's more monsters and sci-fi. It's not like
You don't think monsters are
bloody
scary?
Face.
Yeah. Monsters are scary.
But you don't have killers running through and Jessica Lange trying to kill you or something like an American Horror Story.
This is Brittany being like, I'm too scared to watch it alone. If anyone out there single wants to hang out.
That should be on your bio. Too scared to watch Stranger Things alone, looking for a watch buddy.
Where's my phone?
Yeah,
I love that.
I'm gonna do that right now.
Man.
Find an interesting person.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I might sneak in and watch a little season 1 because you guys have spoken it up so much, and maybe I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted.
Good.
All right, so we're gonna move on now to my favorite part of the show. We have a special guest today. There's not an award, trophy, or statuette that hasn't passed through the hands of David Moritz and his team at Society Awards since 2007. Moritz has designed some of the most popular and prestigious trophies in the world, including the Billboard Music Award, the Emmy and the Golden Globes Awards, and the MTV Music Awards Moon Man. Everyone, please give a warm Build Brunch welcome to Society Awards founder and CEO, David Moritz.
Nice to meet you. Hi, Lucas.
Hi.
Hey,
how are you?
How are you?
Welcome. You can just come around here.
Of course, absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
This is a Clio for your creative coffee mugs.
Wowza.
David, there's so many things to talk to you about, but first I want to know, when you were a kid, you were like, I want to make statues.
I was like, I want to be an entertainment lawyer.
That's what
Yeah, and then I found out about statues.
So how did you get into this field? Because it's such a unique but necessary thing. It's funny you don't even think about it.
I hadn't thought about it. I wanted to do something more creative. I was in law school, and when I went to NYU for undergrad, and I had... Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
NYU, what's our mascot? And
the lily.
Purple?
Violet.
Purple?
The violet.
Yeah, violet.
The violet. The fighting violet.
Yeah.
It's
Not
very
the pigeon
fearsome.
man in Washington Square Park?
It's fearsome.
Yeah.
Fearsome.
Yeah, the bookstore is right down there.
Yeah.
So, of course, this is our old stomping grounds. Yeah. So at NYU, I was entrepreneurial. I had actually opened up a college bar when I was still in college.
Whoa.
Wow.
And so just that kind of experience made me want to do something in business for myself. Even though I did go to law school and I finished, I eventually started my own company.
That's what Mark Cuban did. He opened a bar while he was in college at IU, and
I really should have done it. I should have done what you did.
What were some of the biggest hurdles? Sorry, I'm holding it like this, but I'm just imagining winning it.
Of course.
What were the biggest hurdles you had to face, like a young entrepreneur, kind of doing this on your own, starting a bar, then kind of going after your dreams?
Well, I would say starting a bar would be a big hurdle to going after your dreams. But other than that, being young actually is a big hurdle. Being taken seriously in business. I think that when I was in my 20s and I wanted to get a contract as prestigious as the Golden Globes, I had to work that much harder to make people feel confident in what I was doing. I think that's changing a lot now. I think companies that do have kind of culture that's more based on what you can do than what your actual experience might have been is changing that a little bit. But I would say that for entrepreneurs in traditional businesses, just getting over the youth inexperience is a big one, as well as access to capital.
Right.
Obviously.
Yeah. Well, can you tell us more specifically about like how you started this and sort of what goes into all of that? I mean.
Yeah, so I wanted to do something better in a niche industry that I found out about. One of my friends was in a promotional products business and said that the companies that were making the trophies weren't these luxury, fancy, fantastical, things that dreams are made of kinds of companies that you would want them to be and that they should be. So there was room to create a company that would provide better products, better packaging, better service, and with the brand to go along with that. If you go to the website or you stop by our office or you see our plant in the Midwest, it's fantastic, it's amazing, it's impressive, it's the kind of thing that our clients can be proud of and can point to and say, this is where the trophies come from. So that's what we wanted to create. But of course, you have to build that. There wasn't anything to begin with. So the whole process of learning manufacturing and sales and building a better mousetrap, really.
Speaking of process, like, what is it day to day for you? Like, what do you do in your office? Like,
as little as possible nowadays. No.
Really? That's it?
Yeah. We have now we have experienced salespeople. We have experienced production people. So fortunately, at this point, I have a really great team that I work with, and my job is to give them all the resources that they need and make sure that things are running as smoothly as possible for them. And then, of course, being an entrepreneur, there's all these things you have to do that you didn't think about that aren't part of the dream. Accounting and bookkeeping and taxes and lots of taxes and all those kinds of things that you also have to do. But a lot of times I do the design, or I work with our designers to approve them and give them feedback and bring these things to life. And I also work with the factories a lot and very carefully and keep up the quality control and that kind of thing. I spend a lot of time, even still, going over quality control. So.
That was kind of my question. I feel like if I had to make different awards, they would all end up looking the same.
Right.
Like they would all just look like plaques. So how do you make sure that they all look distinct and different and authentic to the award show?
Creativity is a skill that you can learn like any other skill, and that if you work at it, you can develop that. So I work at it every day, and I've worked at it every day for 11 years now to think about how things are going to be perceived for the client, for the audience. And you're on a good point, though. Most companies have only one iconic award, so it's not that they want something to be that unusual, really. And there are some similarities. They're kind of, easy to hold with one hand, tall, thin, that kind of thing.
Can we discuss these awards that you brought here? Like, American Music Award, I feel like it's an iconic award. Like, I picture Whitney Houston winning all of these, and I don't know, that's what I associate Whitney with this award. Like, what about this design is fulfills that iconic,
Well, sometimes just the nature of something being iconic is what makes it iconic now. That was designed before I was born.
Right.
But we improved it. We made it better. We improved the quality of it and the packaging and the whole experience of getting the award and working with the trophy. And I think that's a very unique design for an award.
Yeah.
And I think that I think it was from the 50s.
Right.
So it has a lot to do with style at that point.
So a lot of what you do because so that award existed clearly for a long time. So taking that original design and finding ways to improve upon it subtly or just
That's
update
exactly
it.
right. For all of these awards, the Clio, the Academy of Country Music Award, the Billboard is a new design, but these were existing designs that we had to figure out how to make them better. But of course, better is better if you see it. If it's shinier, if it's got a better finish to it, you can tell that it's nicer.
What's your favorite award?
Ooh.
Well, I think the most prestigious one that we make is the Golden Globes, and it's certainly my favorite show to attend. It's fantastic. It's a party. It's great. As far as the actual trophy goes, we designed the GLAAD Media Award, and it's a beautiful design. That's our original design. It's got kind of a retro, almost mid-century style to it, and I really like the mixture of materials, and we're proud of it because we designed it.
I ask you that because I know that you made us a brunchy.
Yes,
you made us a brunchy award, and I feel like it's going to be your favorite one.
It is actually.
It's your new favorite, right?
It was my favorite. I should have answered that to begin with. So we did bring something for you guys.
In a gold box.
We haven't seen this yet,
God.
guys.
Are you
Get this
gonna
out of
open
here.
it?
No, it's yours.
Get excited.
Oh my God! All right. Oh my God!
Oh.
That is
Guys,
so awesome.
I'm very excited about that.
That is powerful.
Look at that billboard.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Thank Thank you
That's
so
amazing.
much. Speech, you guys, you speech?
I just want to thank.
First of all, I want to thank my mom. She paid my rent for the first. No, I'm just joking. This is great. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Who
Thank
should
you
we?
so much.
We have to figure out who to give this to. We're gonna do a little award show, I think.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah, we have to. We'll pass it this. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm hogging the
excited
child.
to see it.
Well, David, this was really fun. I mean, these are things we see every year, every day, and it's like nice to know what the work that goes into it. So, guys, give it up for David Moritz.
Thank you so much. So interesting.
It's so interesting.
And that is all from us today at Build Brunch. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same table. Bye, guys.
Thanks.